Hello everyone and hello from Malaysia. It's the right time to begin our session today. Welcome to our program of Leadership and Talent Development Webinar, AIMST Biotech Alumni Webinar Series 2. You have joined us on our webinar entitled Talent Development from a Biotechnologist Perspective to Thrive or Survive, and second webinar entitled Emotional Intelligence AI, How to Silence Our Inner Critic for Self-Development. We will begin our program shortly. Before moving on with today's program, I would like to remind some of the housekeeping items. Please mute your microphones and only unmute when you are required to speak. Turn on your camera and look at your camera while speaking. Feel free to introduce yourself to all participants using chat. No cell phone call or interruption during the session. Just ensure that all our webinar sessions will be recorded and uploaded on our YouTube channel. At the end of the session, there will be an evaluation survey. Feel free to give your feedback through the evaluation survey. Each feedback is highly appreciated. Once again, welcome to our program of Leadership and Talent Development. My name is Kanchana Aplasamy, final year biotechnology student of AIMST University. It's my great honor to serve as MC for today's webinar. If there is any issue with the audio or video, please let us know through the chat. We will try our best to resolve the issue. Now, I would like to invite Dean of Faculty of Applied Sciences, Senior Professor M. Ravichandran, to deliver his opening remarks. Prof. Ravi, please.
You need to unmute, sir.
Yeah. Can you all hear me? Good morning, everyone. Actually, my computer had a problem, so I had to use my phone. I'm in one corner. I think I'm very glad to see this excellent organization of leadership and talent development initiated by Dr. Suresh and our students, alumni, particularly our own beloved alumni. And this particular talk is very special to me. I'm very glad to meet Mr. Joel William. I've known him, I think, more than I don't know how many years. And it is a very good topic and timely topic on leadership and talent development. And also, I would like to thank our one more alumnus, Miss Drona Devi, and very supportive. And it's also Drona Wellness. She's part of it and founder of the Drona Wellness in Sdn Bhd. And we are proud of our alumnus and alumni. And I wish good luck for this today's talk. And I really appreciate our students' involvement in organizing this particular webinar. And I hope today and tomorrow the talk will go on well. Wish you all good luck. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Prof. Ravi. Now, I would like to request our alumni coordinator, Dr. Venkata Suresh Chinni, to deliver his welcoming remarks. Dr. Suresh, please.
Yeah, welcome. Thank you, Ms. Kanchana. A warm welcome to everyone. Professor M. Ravichandran, Dean of Faculty of Applied Sciences, professors, doctors, staff, and students of AIMST University and Hindustan College of Arts and Science, and participants from the Malaysia and all over the world. A warm welcome to you all. And first of all, I'm Dr. Suresh, Biotech Alumni Coordinator at Faculty of Applied Sciences, AIMST University. And we are organizing this one as a series of webinar from the alumni. This is a second kind, and that is leadership and talent development. And I would like to thanks Medhini Group and Mr. Joel for accepting, for giving this invaluable talks. You know, it's a very, very valuable talks and providing for all of us. This is yeah. I would like to introduce our special alumna and who is behind this coordination and supporting Miss Drona. She is our own alumna of biotechnology batch 4. And she's a very role model for all of our present students. And I just give some few introduction about Ms. Drona. She's a holistic wellness trainer, and she's having more than 10 years experience in research and development on diabetes and lifestyle modification, focusing on health. Drona is a triple threat. She's certified as HRD of trainer, certified image consultant, and certified skincare consultant. It's not triple, I think more than that. She supports a Medhini Group as a training manager at a Medhini Group, and she also manages all aspects of planning and execution of the training programs on science and technology. She's a marketing consultant for the Petri Dish, is the first science newspaper in Malaysia and Southeast Asia. And she's a licensed mental health first aider. Drona is passionate about mental health. And in last 5 years, she had ventured into wellness, art of living rightfully to improve both inner health and outer beauty. And she's the founder and CEO of our own Drona Wellness Sdn Bhd. And she approaches always backed by the science. Drona is passionate about creating awareness of the importance of lifestyle balance through science communications. So apart from that, she is a mother of 2 kids and managing multitasker, So she's, so that here today, I introduce moderating this session, Ms. Drona. I think Ms. Kanchana will introduce. Thank you, Ms. Kanchana. It is a warm welcome to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Suresh. Now I would like to invite our today's moderator, Ms. Drona Devi, to introduce our first speaker and begin the session. Ms. Drona, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much. And thank you so much for the warm welcome. It's like walking down memory lane in AIMST University today. Thank you, Prof. Ravi, for the recognition. And I would just like to, to just introduce that this is an awareness program. And however, I would like to say that never underestimate the power of awareness, because this is the first huge step for personal development, personal growth. So at the end of this series organized by AIMST, Faculty of Applied Sciences and Medhini Group, my dear participants, I assure you that you will become more aware of your surroundings, and it will actually start from within. Again, before introducing our beloved speaker, I would like to say that this is actually, as you all know, it's a free webinar. However, nothing comes free in life. The best that you could do as participants now is to pay attention, not in Indian rupees or ringgit Malaysia, but pay attention. Thank you. So our speaker today is Mr. Joel William, who's also my CEO. It's actually quite fun to introduce him. And having graduated with bachelor's degree in biotechnology and minor in computer science, year 2005 from University Science Malaysia, which is 16 years ago. So Mr. Joel immediately secured a job at Malaysian Biotechnology Information Center, which is known as MABIC. I'm sure most of our biotech students here, we know what MABIC does. So he started as a webmaster and communication officer. So not only wanting to survive in a comfortable job, he took an opportunity to join a German engineering construction firm that came knocking on his door, following Richard Branson's favorite quote: if someone offers you an amazing opportunity and you are not sure you can do it, say yes. Then learn how to do it later. So he embraced that opportunity immediately. So after 11 years of doing various roles in Singapore, Indonesia, Malaysia, he took another big step by quitting his well-paid job and started his own firm, Medhini Group Sdn Bhd, right before COVID-19 hit Malaysian shores. Meantime, he contributed his thoughts and articles on various platforms like magazines, for school magazines, the Petri Dish as well, So in this talk, he will be sharing his personal experience. There's nothing like, sharing a personal experience and his leadership tips to stop merely surviving and start thriving, especially in this turbulent time where job opportunities are scarce. To survive is to stay in your comfort zone and live a mundane life. But to thrive, you need to step out your comfort zone. So over to you, Mr. Joel. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Rona, for the kind introduction. First of all, I'd like to thank everyone for taking your time to join this webinar. Thank you to all the organizing committee, and most importantly, I'd like to also thank Prof. Ravi. He has got a special place in my heart, and also I would like to touch that in the presentation shortly as well, and how actually he played a small but very vital role in my career development. So I'm going to try to share my screen now. Let me know that if you can see that. Can you see my screen? You cannot. You can see. Can? Okay. Yeah. So Drona has made the introduction. I've just captured some of the points here. If you look at right down here, I started off with a diploma in medical lab technology back in 1998. That's where actually I met Prof. Ravi. And in the next few slides, I'll actually mention how that was instrumental in my whole career journey. Before I go into the presentation or the crux of the topic, I'll just quickly introduce Medhini Group and what we do. Medhini Group is a very new company. This was established in 5th of January last year. That was just while COVID was brewing in China, and it hit our shores with MCO in March. But that being said, and being a new company, we have managed to secure 3 jobs till date. The first one is with nutrition technologies, basically manufacturing animal protein. So we were instrumental in setting up their plant from site selection all the way to commissioning of this plant. We're also doing some project with Biocon Malaysia. Biocon is an Indian vaccine, insulin manufacturing factory that is based in Johor. So a couple of months ago, we got a small job to help them to commission and do qualification services in their factory, as well as some other projects that we're doing in Vietnam. On the bottom left, you can see that the project that was started right before COVID, 18th of July, by September the same year, it was completed with equipments were running. So this was a contribution from Medhini to establishing biotech and life sciences factories in Malaysia and in the region. That being said, the crux of the presentation for today, I'm going to break it into 3 parts. The first part is basically my journey on just being surviving into thriving. So what really pushed me from being status quo and to thrive, and what it means to be thriving. The second part of the talk would cover high-level leadership qualities. Basically, these are some tips that you need to have throughout your journey in your career. The third part is what I like best, and I like to spend a lot more time here, is where you can ask me any questions, and I'll try to answer as best as possible. So I'll try to finish the first 2 parts as quick as possible, so that we'll have a lot more time doing question and answer. I like question and answer because that's where it gives opportunity not only for you to learn, but also for me to learn from those questions as well. Now, in my career journey, as I mentioned, I graduated with a degree in biotechnology, but before that, I did medical lab technology, and that was also in USM in Kubang Krian, where I actually met Prof. Ravi. One key takeaway from my meetings with him and my discussions with him is that he recognized at a very early stage that I had very high interest in computers. And at that time, he was into bioinformatics. He was teaching us bioinformatics, and he recognized that talent that I had, and he actually encouraged me to do my projects related to computer science or related to IT at that point of time. It's a very strange thing to do, being a medical lab technologist going into IT, or being a biotechnologist going into IT. but I did. My final year project was developing a mobile app. At that time, in 1998, there wasn't any mobile phone application, but we were already thinking about doing application that can look into nutritional content of food. So that's why actually my interest in IT grew. And after completing my diploma, I got offered to do biology in USM, and eventually year 2 become biotechnologist. Again, another choice that I made here is, instead of doing what the normal degree student would do, which go into management or finance, I took a different path. I minored in computer science. Again, I was probably the only one who was doing biology and computer science in USM at that point of time, or probably a very few that has actually done that. Now, when I graduated, or actually even before I graduated, Mabek, as a lot of you all would know, Malaysian Biotech Information Center, was actually looking for a biotech graduate with IT background, because they wanted someone to do multitask. They wanted someone who can manage their website and who has got good communication skill. I saw the newspaper advert, and then I applied even before I finished my final year project. And I secured a job with Mabek. And here again, the journey here, the only reason why I got my first job was because I planned myself to be different from the rest of the group. And how did I do that? By acquiring a different skill set that not many will have. So basically differentiating oneself in a different area, so like a sub-specialty, right? So in this case, it was computer science. Again, the key word here is passion, right? So I had a lot of passion in computers, and that kind of helped me to work together with my fundamental degree, which is biotechnology. Now, if I were to stay in a surviving mood, I wouldn't have gone out of my comfort zone. So again, something strange happened in 2008, because I was doing a lot of public speaking. Someone from M&W Group, was based in Singapore, met me to understand about biotechnology scenario in Malaysia. And he asked me, would I like to work in Singapore in an engineering and construction firm? It's a very large German engineering and construction firm. They have 7,000 employees worldwide. And I was not sure, because first of all, I did not study for engineering. I didn't know anything about construction. But here I was in a point of life where I had to make a decision, right? If I were to say yes to something that I totally don't know, but I'm willing to learn, or stay in the comfort zone and just go on with daily life. So at that point, I made a conscious decision. I don't know anything about engineering. I've not done engineering in my whole life. In fact, I never thought I would be working for an engineering group. I made a conscious decision. Fine, I'm going to do it. I'm going to take the job and see what's going to come out of it. So that started another part of my career. If you look at the chart here, I joined as basically a life science engineer in supporting projects, developing life sciences projects, so pharmaceutical projects, biosafety labs. And very quickly, I was promoted as project manager. Again, it was a task which was asked, okay, you know what, Joel, I'm going to put you as a project manager for the small project. Now, I had two options. I could say, no, I have not been a project manager. I don't have the skill sets. I don't want to be a project manager. Let me stay as what I want. And then the graph would have looked like that. But I said, okay, I'm going to take that as a challenge. And then it slowly went in as a business development manager. And actually this chart is charted against on this side is basically the remuneration, what you get paid for the role that you're doing. So it was a very pleasant journey in Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia. I was doing projects in the region. But then the satisfaction was not there. I mean, I knew that I can do much better, right? Again, you will come to a position in your life where you have to choose. Do you want to survive or do you want to thrive? And this was the position I was at last year. By the time last year, I was a general manager for this company in Malaysia. Again, a decent position, well-paid salary. But if I knew that if I'm going to stay with this firm, there will be a limit in what I can do. Now, I made again a conscious decision that I'm going to quit my job and start my own firm. And that's the history of how basically Medhini was started. So as you can see in my whole career path, there are many small decisions that you take, but which gives very big results at the end, just like the chaos theory. So let's go into the next topic, whether to thrive or to survive, and what are the differences. Now, if you look at this lady in the boat here, in the kayak, in the river. Now, in that situation, there are two things that you can do. One, you don't do anything, we just stay. And what will happen? You will just go with the flow of the river. The river moves, takes you along. Second, you can paddle and you can choose where you want to head to, right? So surviving meaning being in a status quo. You're not doing anything actively. You're not subconsciously looking for something to do. But what are the dangers of surviving? If you look now, no one expected COVID to hit. And this pandemic, a lot of them have lost their jobs. Now, if a lot of them has just been merely surviving and lost their job, they will not have the skill set to thrive or to come out of that and do something different, right? So that is the danger of just surviving. You don't want to just survive. If you're on the kayak, if you're in the river, if you're just surviving, you don't know if there's a fall at the end of the river, end of the flow. You don't know there are probably crocodiles in the water. You want to actively choose your bank, right? Just don't go with the flow, choose your bank and give your full throttle. Basically, you need to, paddle as fast as possible, put all your might, all your strength, and then you know that you are in a better place, in a better position. So what it looks like to survive, right? A lot of people are doing that, but that being said, for some people they just want to survive, which is not bad at all. I mean, some people they want to just have a status quo. My dad was like that. He just wanted to survive. There wasn't a big passion that he wanted to chase after, and then there's nothing wrong with that. But if you just survive, there are certain things that you need to be prepared for, right? So what it looks like, if you're just surviving from outside, it looks like you're just doing your task that is given to you. If someone asks you to write an essay, you have done an essay, they say 100 to 200 words. At 200 word or 150 word, you stop, and you submit. But why not take an extra effort, provide additional supporting documents or use that essay and develop something else? For example, that's thriving. So you get engaged in what you do and not merely doing something for the sake of doing it. So that's the difference between surviving and thriving. So what it feels like for you as personally, right? So when you're just surviving, you have a lot of resentment, frustrations, because there's nothing else to look for, right? So you're just in the status quo. But when you're thriving, you have that joy. You have something. When you wake up in the morning, you have something to do. You want to wake up and start your day cheerfully. That's how it feels like when you're thriving. What it sounds like surviving is like, okay, I should have done that. It's always very negative. You try not to do something different because you don't want to put an extra effort. But when you're consciously thriving, you put all the energy out to do something. Even if it fails, that's fine. You try something 10 times. The 11th time you may do it well. But if you don't try it at all, that's where the surviving attitude sits in. Now, talking about surviving and thriving, what are the qualities that you need to thrive, right? A lot of people have the misconception that leadership is only for leaders. You only need to have leadership quality if you are a boss. You only need to have leadership quality if you're a manager. That's not true, right? So this is something that, although it came to me quite late, but I picked on it very heavily. Right? Now, the first one is situational awareness. What is situational awareness? Again, I like to give one more example in the career path in my life. During my degree, my professor was Professor Dr. Suresh. And I have the attitude of always going the extra mile. So although I'm not a class 1 student, grade 1 student, but I've been always helpful. Right? If someone were to, if I see a professor carrying a book and he's struggling to carry, offer him a help. Now, what it does is, by having the situational awareness or by going the extra mile, people will notice you, people will recognize you. Right? You will be in their good books. So how did this help me when I went for my interview with Dr. Maha? The first thing she asked, where you are from? Okay, you're from USM. So do you know Prof. Suresh? I said, yeah, I know Prof. Suresh. And I can confidently tell her, this is his number. You can pick up the phone and give him a call, because she knew Prof. Suresh because they were studying together. Now, you see how small things in what you do in your daily life can make a big difference, because I was very confident that when Dr. Maha picked up the phone and called Dr. Suresh, he would only have good things to say about me, right? And I was offered the job. Now, again, so you don't have to have this kind of qualities when you're working, when you're a boss, but this is something that you need to have as a habit. Go the extra mile, because it pays in the long run. Hungry for knowledge. This is in terms of self-improvement, right? The more you read, the more you seek for knowledge, that'll be good for you, right? Because graduating, it's not the end of where you study. Right? Continue studying every day of your life. Why Mahathir is so sharp even at this age? Because he reads books every day. He reads something. And so with most of the leaders that you see, you go listen to TED Talks, you'll see that a lot of the leaders, basically they read book. Bill Gates, for example, he isolates himself 2 weeks in a year just to read books. That's where, because you take other people's knowledge into you, reading books, watching TED Talks, self-improvement, that's really important. Keep yourself abreast with what's happening in the world around you. And how that helps, when you meet someone, when you meet a client, the first thing that you talk to your client is not about your business. You talk about general knowledge, right? And if you don't read the news, you don't have general knowledge, you don't know what's happening in the world, you lose that first impression, right? That you can be trusted, that you are good in communication. So this is, again, what I would like to encourage. I think I can't really see what type of participants are here. I can assume out of the 148 participants that's online now, most of you all are students or have just graduated or looking for a job. So keep yourself abreast with what's happening, not only in the country, not only in the state, but globally, right? So that really helps you to communicate with other people that you meet. Building relationship and networking, right? I started off as a very shy person. I mean, very often that I go and, actively go and talk to someone. But what I realized in the business world is that if you don't build relationship, good relationship, strong relationship, and you don't network, it doesn't help you, or it doesn't jumpstart your careers in life. Like meeting people. If you don't go and meet people, you won't get the offers, the kind of offers that I got in my career. If I hadn't met my boss at M&W Group for a lunch meeting, I wouldn't have got that opportunity to go and work in Singapore, right? So be active in looking for network. The other thing that I'd like to encourage here, all of you all to do, is to have a LinkedIn account. Connect with me in LinkedIn, because that is the networking tool that's available free of charge. And you get connected to thousands of people globally that can help you on your career path. You can learn a lot from them. Right? Your next job, your next career, your next business that you start could be from any of those links that you have on your LinkedIn. So keep networking. I was once in a seminar where the person was giving talk about LinkedIn, said that to have best network, connect to at least 20 people every day. Go to LinkedIn, search for the type of people you want to connect with them. You don't have to know them. And you'll be surprised, out of the 20, 15 will accept the connection. and they will be in your network. When you post something relevant, they'll pick it up on it. So this is something that is really important: relationship building, relationship, and network. Now, to have passion, you always have to work with your passion, right? So in my case, IT, information technology, programming, developing software was my passion. Doing biotechnology was academic. So you need to learn how to differentiate that. Of course, like every Indian parents, mom wanted me to become a doctor, but I couldn't stand the look of blood. But I took the next best option. Okay, I'll become a biotechnologist, because at that time everyone was talking about biotechnology. Talking 20 years ago, 1998, 2004, 2005, biotechnology was the buzzword. But unfortunately, there wasn't much career job opportunities for biotechnology graduate. So if you don't have passion with you to do something different, you'll get stuck. I wasn't ready to just be working in the lab for the rest of my life. I wanted to do something different. And that helped, having that passion and the burning desire helps to keep you going. That's like the fuel. Boldness and courage, right? So this is, again, something that is really important. You can be a very smart person, but if you don't have the boldness or the courage to ask for something, you will not get it. When I say boldness is when you step up and say, I want that. And the answer can be no, but at least you tried asking. Like I said, out of 10 times, maybe 9 times they say no, but 1, they will say yes. But to do that, you need to have that boldness in you. So this is, again, it's not innate. You can develop that. And you learn with small habits of asking. You can train your brain to do that. That's point number 7. Create a habit, create a routine. And creating a habit starts very small. Right? That is a picture of me running a half marathon. Throughout my whole academic year, schools, universities, I was never a sportsman. I could never even run. When I started running, I couldn't do 1 kilometer. In 18 months, I could run half a marathon without no issues. So again, habit and routine gets improved the more you practice. Right? Vision, mission. Again, have your mission, have your vision, what you want for your life, and then set goals, achievable small goals to achieve your vision. The other key qualities or tips that I have is find a mentor. So for me, I had great mentors. Dr. Maha was one of my biggest mentor. And then I had mentor from people from the business industry. I joined Rotary Group. I had a lot of senior people that I could, bounce my ideas with them. It all comes for free. The only thing that you spend is time. So find a good mentor and then learn from them. They will guide you, right? So having a good mentor is something that is really good because it helps with your leadership quality. You can emulate what you see from good leaders, and people will see that in you. That all being said, you need to have that ability to change. As the saying goes, change is the only constant. Right? If you have all this leadership quality and if you don't change, you will just merely survive. You will not thrive. Right? You need to keep changing. Just like the stock market. Right? Stock market never stays flat. It keeps changing. Sometimes it's changed for the best, sometimes it's changed for the worst. But it has to keep changing. Otherwise, the economy will not move. So it's with you. If you don't change, you'll get stuck in that cocoon, right? And merely living a mundane life. Now, all that being said, let me quickly summarize some of the key points that I mentioned earlier. Now, to thrive, you need to be conscious about it. You need to think about it all the time, right? To survive, you don't have to think. You don't have to think to breathe. Do you think to breathe? No, that's survival, okay? You just breathe, That's done automatic. You don't have to think. But to thrive, you need to think. You need to act on it consciously. Every half an hour, it's like, okay, what can I do to do something better? And the more you do it, it becomes a habit, and you'll keep thriving. Right? Do not go with the flow. Start with small wins. Right? Start with small wins. Let me give an example. For example, if you go to a restaurant and you order some food, right, and then you want to have something different which is not in the menu. Now you can say, okay, it's not in the menu. There's no point asking because the waiter's going to say no. But why not ask for it? Say, can you mix this and that? I would like to have it a little bit more spicy. Okay, the waiter can say no. That's fine. But these are the small wins that you can get. The waiter say, oh, yeah, fine, we can do it for you. So what that does, it helps your brain to get addicted to winning. It's like addiction. It's like nicotine. You know, the more you win, the more you want to win on bigger things, right? It keeps the wheel going, right? So you need to be consciously doing that all the time, right? And don't take no for an answer. If you believe something strongly, don't take no for an answer. Keep pushing it, and the more you push it, you know, you'll eventually get a yes. Same like in relationships as well, right? You don't simply give up after your first date says no. You keep trying, right? So you need to do that in everything that you do, in your career, in your relationship, in whatever that you do. You need to don't simply take no for an answer. Right. Equip yourself with soft and hard skill. Again, this is coming back to what I mentioned earlier. You need to always seek for new knowledge, right? Reading books, news. You know, we like to promote here the Petri dish. I'm not sure how many of you all have actually subscribed to Petri dish, but you know, this is a small help that you can do for the community that we are serving. It doesn't cost you a lot. You can write a note to Drona and ask how you can subscribe to Petri dish. But this is again getting yourself, keeping yourself up to date with latest happenings in the world. Right. Acquire new skills. Now, skills. This could be hard skills, right? It could be anything. It could be a sports beyond your field of study, right? So it could be, for example, if you want to be in construction, I want to do, let's say, work at height. How do I work at height? Or maybe even drive a forklift, for example. Now, any new skills that you add on to yourself will only benefit you, right? Keeps your brain active. So always keep looking out for new skills. New skills doesn't mean sitting in front of TV and watching 10 serials, you know, in 3-4 hours. That's not a new skill. That doesn't help you with anything. Right? At the same time, if you go out and pick up a new hobby, flying a drone, for example, that is a skill. You'll never know. You get a job where you're supporting a real estate, and you have the ability to fly the drone and use the property, and you can sell property better. See, these are the small things that you can do which will help you in your career path, jumpstart your career path. Right. Now, I think I've said, you know, in a summary, basically presented my journey, how I came to where I am now. So the key message that I want to pass here is, just because you graduate as a biotechnologist doesn't mean that you have to work as a biotechnologist for the rest of your life. There are many paths that you can go, right? You know, after graduating, it only gives you a basic degree. Your resume is only valid for your first job. You know, your grades, your marks, your achievements is only valid for your first job. Your second job will not look at your resume. Your second job should be by recommendation. Your job should be based on what you have achieved during your first job. So, you know, based on my experience, and I do a lot of interviews, the challenges that I see with the students now is they only know what they have been taught. Right? They have not gone out to do, different types of what you call internship. Right? What's stopping a biotechnologist graduate or while studying to do an internship in a construction firm? So just to give an example, I took an intern, or Medhini Group took an intern a couple of months ago. She's a biotechnology student, just studying. She finished a master's in biotechnology. So I took her an intern as in a construction firm to do documentation. But I told her, see, I'm taking you as an intern. I'm going to pay you a very minimal salary. But what I'm going to give you is I'm going to give you an exposure to the company that I'm working with, my client. I said, you will have, by doing documentation, you will get exposed to the people that's working in that company. And I told her, if you are good, they will come and ask you to join them. And that's exactly what happened. Right? After 2 months, she came to me and said, sorry, I need to quit my internship. I said, oh, why? Like, oh, your client offered me a job. I said, this is exactly what I want. I got no hard feeling at all. I mean, this is exactly what I want. You have to go out of your comfort zone, do something different. You have higher chances of being recognized than just going and working as a salesperson in a eyewear shop or something like that. Right. So don't limit yourself. Right. Acquire new skills that is beyond the field of study, and networking helps. Right. So thanks to Drona, she found that intern through the LinkedIn and the network that we had, and she applied for the internship job. So these are some of the small examples that I can give how a biotechnologist need not be in a biotechnology area. You can be good in sales, you can be good in like me, I came into construction, although that was not my field, but you can be anywhere. It's limitless. Right? Keep your mind open. Okay, so we have another 15 minutes, 17 minutes or so now. I'm just opening that for questions. You can ask questions. I'll let Drona moderate that. Just shoot me with questions. If I can answer, I'll answer. If I can't, I'll learn. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Joel. Any questions? Dear participants, you could post it in the chat box. I've actually shared the link of the Petri dish, and they have actually offered a promo code for today's participants, which will be valid for 5 days. It's AIMST 20. So if you, it's there. AIMST 20. If you click the subscribe button, you can just put in the promo code for to subscribe to the Petri dish, which is the first science newspaper that Mr. Joel has mentioned. Any other questions?
I am not seeing any questions unless there are some.
Yeah, I can't see it here as well.
Or you can just unmute it and just ask.
Yeah, if you do not want to post it here, you could just unmute yourself. And as mentioned, that there will be mystery gifts and also lucky winners for active participation. Okay, I can hear someone.
Hi, this is Dr. Ram. Nice presentation, Joel. I like this. For a new job seekers, do you also provide consultancy service for a freelancer kind of stuff?
I mean, Medhini, as one of the Medhini's key task is also to do talent development, and that's why basically that's Drona's task, where we do a lot of training programs. If I get your question right,
101 model.
101.
You are going for a company like giving a corporate training for this one, maybe yes, but I am looking for a 1 hour model. Are you able to support in the 1 hour model for career transformation coach?
For sure, we can do that. If you have a particular need, let us know your need, and we will basically get a one-to-one module, and we can basically present that to you. And we want to do a lot of corporate social.
It's like something like some kids having the supernatural skills and all, and once they grow up into the youngsters and teenagers to transform into career, for them they have a lot of schools. We are looking for we have some cases coming up, and they are seeking my help. How this kind of people you can transform their career? Everybody is normal, is okay. Everybody they can get online, they can go. But the need is coming here, Joel, is like something. Their superpower they have in their mind. Do you do one-on-one coaching for them?
We have not done it before, to be honest. But if that's something that we can,
no problem, sir.
Thank you. We'll sure be able
this
to.
is the need, because we are the people. What is the need? We need to think innovatively to support the audience, right?
Yes.
Sure.
Thank you.
Well noted. Please be in touch with us.
Sure, sir. Thank you. Nice presentation. We'll keep in touch, and I learn a lot.
Yeah, okay. There's thank you, sir. There's another question by Vivian Lim. How do you make someone to accept your views or ideas, even though they may have a different idea perspective?
That's a very interesting question. We cannot force something down someone's throat. I mean, we have to make it pleasant for them to seek it and eat it themselves, right? It's when you want to pass your view, I always believe that any view that you provide has to have backing, right? Either if it's a scientific view, then it has to be backed by science. If it's like, for example, now there's a big debate on vaccine acceptance, right? This is an easy, not to say easy, but this is a subjective matter. You can actually put in a lot of scientific reasons, whichever view you are. You can accept vaccine, you don't want to accept vaccine. There are fundamental for both components of that. Now that is easier to debate. And if you think that you have enough supporting points, you bring that up. What is more difficult is political views, right? So that again is very, very subjective. You cannot force someone to accept a different political view. It's a very emotional thing. It's just like religion, right? So you need to identify first whether it's something that you can put it subjectively or objectively. If you can really put it in an objective manner, then you need to have that backing and present that view. Not everyone will accept your view, but you must also have that ability to accept that your view could be wrong, right? I'm not saying that you should give up. Like I said, you should don't take no for an answer. You should, if you strongly believe in something, go all out for it. Bring along similar believers along with you if you think that that is right. If someone has really shut off their mind, you can't do anything about it. Like I said, you cannot force a food. For example, I cannot give durian to my wife. She just doesn't eat. She'll run 100 miles away from me. So I can't do it. No matter how I package it into a sweet, into a coffee, it doesn't work. Right? So that's my take on that.
Excellent. Thank you.
Ms. Drona?
Yes.
This is Dr. Marimuthu. Good to see you, and
Yes.
very glad to see you.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Very well, you have been
My
moderating.
lecturer.
Thank you, Mr. Joel. It was a very interesting and enlightening talk. I agree with you. Leadership and communication is very vital for anyone, any human being. But nowadays, no, forcing something for younger children is very, very difficult. They don't take it. They don't accept it. So how do we inculcate these leadership skills for the younger children?
That's a very interesting. Yeah, that's a very, very interesting
So if
question.
you force them, they don't take it. When you force them, when you tell them something, they don't take it. Even university students. So how do you inculcate?
Gen Y is like that only.
Yeah, I mean, I try not to generalize the Gen Y, Gen Zs. It becomes a very sensitive topic. Let me give you an example. Right, I have my own kids. My daughter is 5 years old, and my son is 9 years old. So I have faced those challenges. Now, one example, right? I wanted to push my daughter into tennis, pick up tennis. She's 5 years old, and she was reluctant. She didn't want to get into the car. Right? So all I did was I brought her to the court, and there was another girl about the same age who just walked in. And the moment she saw that girl, she kind of like just ignored me that I was even in existence, and joined the class. Right now, if the girl wasn't there, I wouldn't have been able to introduce or force her to take up on that class at all. Now, the way I see that mindset work is that the tagging along, right? If, for example, like even my son, I mean, he's into Minecraft, he plays with his laptop a lot. But even in certain games like that, you can actually start to introduce leadership qualities. Like, okay, you are playing with your friend. How are you communicating with your friend? We need to spend time with them. It's the other way around. It's not that we cannot tell them this is what you have to go and do, but you need to sit with them and understand their way of thinking. And then it becomes easier because then you connect to them. Because if you don't connect to them, they will not listen. So this is something that I found in my recent lives. You need to connect with the people, and if you cannot form that connection, no matter what you say or what you do, it's not fruitful, right? It's different from our era, or even my era, 20 years ago, where we have that mindset of, okay, someone is teaching, we sit and listen, right? Whether we understand or not, we sit and listen. But now it's not like that. They need to be connected. They need to know why they are there. Right?
Correct.
Talking about Gen Y, so you need to create that interest. I wasn't good in attending classes, but there are certain classes that I'll go to because I can connect to that the way that the person is teaching, right? So I think we all need to take a step back and try to find out what connects to them, and then go in that direction. We're in a situation where we cannot push anything down their throat anymore. It doesn't work. Forceful feeding doesn't work anymore. My mother used to say, she used to force and feed me, but I cannot do that with my kids. We have to give them what they like.
Yes.
So it's about connecting. It's about connecting to them at the emotional level, connecting to them at the physical level. Be there. Then you can see it transforming. Then you can see it actually working.
Thank you, Mr. Joel. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, there's another question. Do you have job career workshop which is free? Joel, do you want to answer that?
Yeah, I mean, at this point of time, everyone is looking for free opportunities here and there. I mean, of course, we can do a lot of things for free, even like this kind of talks, or I'm really passionate about talent development. I used to give a lot of talent talks to students, career talks.
That's fine, sir. But at the end of the day, we need to survive, right?
Sure, for sure.
How long we can do free service? This is my question.
I totally agree with you. But the what you call the outcome can be different. Like for example, when I took an intern, of course I didn't that I'm not going to pay you anything. I paid a minimal fee, but when I managed to bring her and the other company took her on board, it creates a positive image for my firm because they see that I'm doing that talent development. So again, nothing is free, but if I can put a dollar sign to something that I'm doing,
yep.
then it's not actually not free,
but marketing.
Yeah, it's more to marketing.
Long-term strategy with mouth-to-mouth marketing.
Correct. So there are other benefits. So I would always see that in that point of view. If I were to do something, I need to see some returns, but it need not be monetary return. Right. it could be that I'm helping another company find some jobs. At the same time, then the company might give me another project going forward. Right? So there are many ways to skin the cat, if you may. So yeah, we can do it for free. Career, I try not to charge people, but like I said, it has to benefit both parties, the taker and the giver. It has to benefit both parties. Yeah, follow us on LinkedIn and also on Facebook.
Yes.
Very often we post this the meetings that we have, or the seminars or the webinars. A lot of them are free. Maybe in future we will have some paid ones, and of course the paid ones will be a lot more intense, with more outcome to benefit people.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. We have another speaker that will be joining in. Thanks, Joel. So I would just like to end this first session with a beautiful quote that I came across by Carl Jung, a psychiatrist. The meeting of two personalities, it's like the contact of two chemical substances. If there is any reaction, both are transformed. So I hope it did meet our objective, which is to set the aha moment for our fellow participants, and hoping that it might spark something for your personal growth. So thank you. Over to you, Kanchana.
Thank you, Ms. Jonah. Thank you, Mr. Jal, for the amazing talk. And I believe that everybody would have learned something very precious today, including me. So moving on with our session, we would like to hear feedback from all the participants by scanning the QR code that's shown in the screen right now, or you can go to the link given. The link will also be provided in our chat box in a short while. Upon completion of the evaluation survey, all participants will receive their certificate of participation for the first session. On behalf of the organizing committee, we would like to thank all the participants for being with us in our first session. We will begin our second session in a short while. I will keep the screen running for 1 more minute in order for everyone to scan the QR code. Thank you. I hope everyone would have scanned the QR code by now. So moving on with our next session, I would like to invite again Ms. Jonah Devi to invite our second speaker and begin our session. Ms. Jonah, please.
Thank you, Kanchana. Welcome, Madhi. So Madhi is actually the our second speaker for the day. So Madhi Randava, she has 18 years of working experience in training and consultancy. So Madhi is an accredited GENOS International Emotional Intelligence Practitioner by Swinburne University. She's an experienced facilitator with over 18 years in-house corporate experience around Asia. She's an expert. She's known as the HR lady in HR-related trainings, especially in Employment Act 1955, managing disciplinary and termination process and behavioral interviewing skills. She has written articles on competency-based interview. I will share the link later in the chat box. And she has been interviewed by Business FM radio station on key traits to break or make a leader. She has done extensive research on eradication of sexual harassment at workplace. She conducts a lot of webinars on this as well, which is specifically on women empowerment. She has always been invited to be a panelist and guest speaker for symposiums and conferences, especially on the topic of gender harassment and emotional intelligence. So without further ado, I would like to hand over the session to Madhi. The floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Drona. Thank you for having me. Thank you so much, AIMST, for having me, and also Joel. Thank you so much for having me as well. I have not met Joel in person. I have done quite a number of webinars for Joel as well. I think this is my second one, I guess. And I've not met him. I think through LinkedIn, we were connected. Okay, thank you so much, Joel, and also AIMST. Now, just to start, can you all hear me clearly? Can you all hear me clearly?
Yes.
All right,
Yes.
great. Okay, just to start it off, definitely I'm not from a science faculty, so I can see everyone is from science faculty, so I'm the odd one here, I guess. Very legal background. I'm a very legal person, especially when it comes to termination and all that. So I'm an expert in all that field, okay? But it's nice. It's nice to see all these science faculty, how you guys really strive through this, really nice to see all these, heads up to y'all. Okay, now my today's session is going to be inner critics and emotional intelligence, yeah? So let me share my screen. Okay, I'm going to share my screen. All right, this is going to be my topic, inner critics and emotional intelligence. Now, what is inner critics and what is emotional intelligence? Now, inner critics is something that always within us. I'll explain to you. There are few inner critics that we have, and how are we going to silence the inner critics? And also how emotional intelligence is going to help you to silence these inner critics. So that is my topic today. And then once I've done that, I'm going to do a free assessment for y'all on emotional intelligence. Now, this is good. Why? Because once you know which competency you need to develop yourself, that will be very good to enhance yourself in the future when it comes to emotional intelligence. Yeah. So we will do a free assessment later. Once I finish, then we'll do a free assessment to find out which competency that we should work on in ourselves. All right, moving on. Now, this is inner critic. What is inner critic? Meaning we think over again about negative thoughts in our mind. Okay, like we think that we are not good enough. So these are inner critics that it constantly will be running in your head. Constantly running in your head, and you beat yourself for smaller stuff. Even it could be a small stuff, but you beat yourself for that. And then spiraling downward into a black hole of negativity. This inner critic is basically negativity within us. So we need to learn how to silence this inner critic so that we can shine, okay? So that we can shine in the future. Now, why is it important? Now, in order for you to shine, let it be as a student, or let it be once you have graduated, once you are in the work field, these are the important skills that is needed within you. All right, so emotional intelligence will play a big part in this role. All right, now let me go through the inner critics that we have. These are the 7 inner critics that I'm talking about. Now, whether let it be male or female, okay, we do have these inner critics within us, me, you, anyone, okay, we do have inner critics. Now, we need to learn how to silence it. Now, the first one will be the perfectionist inner critic. What is perfectionist inner critic? Now, everyone wants to be perfect. Okay, we strive to be perfect. That's what we think. Now, bear in mind, we don't have to be perfect. We need to progress. We need to strive to progress every step that we are making. None of us are perfect. You can't name someone who's perfect. Okay, so don't strive for perfectionist, to be a perfectionist, but try to progress yourself day by day. Now, when you do that, that gives you a peace of mind, basically. That could silence your inner critics. When it comes to perfectionists, it just gives you this high standard when it comes to behavior, performance, and also your production. Now, that makes you feel that you are not up to the par. So that is the inner critic that we face in as a perfectionist. Now, what is inner controller? Second inner critic is inner controller. That means you're not taking risks. You're afraid of taking risks. You're afraid you will be embarrassed or insulted by someone, or you will look foolish in front of someone. So you don't want to take this step to silence this inner critic. Yep. So inner controller is something that it really makes you feel like, it stops you from taking risks. That is inner controller. Then we have taskmaster. What is taskmaster? You work hard and harder and harder and harder every day. Now it is form of workaholism. Yeah, it's a form of workaholism. You want to work so much, in order to prove yourself that you're really good. But you must remember, you need to take a break. You need to take a break in that. Okay, taskmaster is such a critic that really makes you feel that if you don't work, you're not good enough. So that is taskmaster. And then moving on to the fourth inner critic is underminer. What is underminer? Underminer is undermining your self-confidence and your self-esteem. Now, I give you an example here. When it comes to public speaking, okay, when it comes to public speaking, we always undermine ourselves. The only thing that we think of, what happens if I go right in front and I speak? Now, would I look foolish to others? Would I look funny? This is no. We always think the worst scenario. This is underminer. Actually, we always think about the worst scenario instead of thinking that the time that you have done a public speaking, which was really good. Okay, we never think about that. We always think about the worst scenario, what could happen to us if I'm right in front and I'm doing a public speaking. Example, I'm just giving you an example when it comes to underminer. One of the critique that we have is underminer. Then we have destroyer. Inner critic, destroyer. Destroyer is like, it tells you that you shouldn't exist. You shouldn't exist at all. You are like not worth at all. You shouldn't exist at all. So this is another, it's really bad. Actually, this inner critics lead to a lot of health issues. Yeah, this particular inner critic will lead to a lot of inner, what they call health issues. Okay, so this is something that we need to silence. Not everyone has this. Okay, not everyone has it, but this is common as well. Okay, then we have guilt tripper inner critic. What is guilt tripper inner critic? It attacks you specifically for decision that you're making or the decision that you did not make in the past. All right, so decision that you already made or that you did not act upon, that makes you feel guilty and you regret. That gives you the form of regret, sense of regret. Okay, so that is the guilt tripper. Then we have molder. Okay, especially in Asian society. Okay, we do have this molder critic. What is the molder critic? Now, to fit into certain culture, to fit into certain society, to fit into certain family, you need to mold yourself to be that. Now, example I give you, if you have, your family, you have all doctors and your parents say you got to be doctor, and that's where you try to fit into that. You push yourself to fit into that. I'm not saying that you should not work hard to be that, but killing yourself to mold into that will not be good. Okay, that will not be good because that makes you feel worthless sometimes. That means you undermine yourself at times. So these are pattern inner critics that common inner critics. There are many, but I just highlighted that these 7 inner critics that we human might face. Yeah. Then moving on. remember, yeah, this, I will give you the tips how we're going to overcome these inner critics, yeah, how we could put this inner critics or how we could silence the inner critics. Now, remember this, 7 things to remember when you think you're not good enough. Now, first thing, do not compare yourself with others, yeah, this very, very common. Okay, we tend to compare ourselves with others, especially when we are active in social media, yeah, especially on Facebook, yeah. I'm sure some of you might resonate with me. You know, some of you might think, oh, okay, now this person is going holiday, wow, you know, to really luxurious holiday getaway, or even, you know, to Europe or whatever. You know, why can't I do that? Now that is comparing yourself. You know what? It can be anything. Okay, comparing yourself is bad. Okay, don't compare yourself at all. All right, then your mind can be a very convincing liar. Now, cognitive shifting. Everything is in your mind. We, we control our mind. So you don't let the mind to control you. That is what I meant by convincing lie. It can tell you are not good enough, but you need to control it and say that you are the best. All right. Now, there is more right with you than wrong with you. If you really list it out, you can see you have a lot of strengths there, you know, rather than weaknesses, you have a lot of strength there. So you have more right than wrong. Okay. Then you need love the most when you feel you deserve in the least. Love yourself. Love yourself first. Love yourself first before loving anyone else. I know this, you know, Asian culture, especially being an Indian. Yeah, being an Indian, we always have this thing in us. We always love our parents. We always love our husband. We always love our kids. These are common thing when it comes to Asian culture, especially Indians. Yeah. So I tell you, this is the common cliche that we have. Now, I tell you, love yourself first before you love anyone else. Love yourself first. That gives you a wonder feeling. Trust me why I'm saying that later. I'll share with you my story, why I said that. All right. Then you have to fully accept and make peace with the now. That means live present moment. Live for the present moment. That is a wonderful feeling when you live for the present moment. Don't think about past and don't think about what's going to happen in the future. Live for the present moment. Okay. Enjoy every beat of your life. If you're a student, enjoy every beat of your life. That is a great moment. All right. Now, focus on progress, like what I say. This is one of the inner critic, yeah? So focus on progress, not to be perfect. Now, lastly, you can't take your way into loving yourself. Like what I say, love yourself first. You will never go wrong if you love yourself, all right? Now, look at that. Why I put up this? Now, no matter what you do, whether you do it right, you do it wrong, there will be someone judging you. Now, my advice to you, don't bother about what people say. Do what you think is right. What you feel is right, do it. All right? Now, these are the, how do you silence your inner critic? Yeah? How do you silence your inner critic? I've given you 5 steps. First of all, identify your inner critics. Ask yourself, what are your inner critics? Ask your, that 7 things that I shared with you, the 7 inner critics. Ask which inner critic is talking to you. It could be 1 or 2. Which inner critic is talking to you? Identify, examine the inner critic. Where is it coming from? Okay, you need to know that and understanding the inner critic. All right. Now, you need to learn from your inner critic, but be careful. Don't give too much power to your inner critic. Meaning to say, don't let your inner critic control you, but you need to control your inner critic by silencing them. Now, give your inner critic a name, whatever name you want to name it, because when we name someone, then that's where we know the person. Okay, so give a name to your inner critic and get real about what your inner critic is meant to do. Okay. Now, what is it? it's really trying to tell you? What is the inner critic is really trying to tell you? Understand that. Listen to your self-talk, okay? What is it trying to say? As I said, listen to your inner critic. What is it trying to get to you? How is it stopping you from progressing or from shining? Try to understand. Now, check, challenge, and reframe the messages. This is what we call it positive affirmation, cognitive shifting. We need to have that cognitive shifting or mindset, positive mindset shifting here. Now, show your self-compassion, okay? Now, tell that if I were to advise a friend, how would I advise? So don't take it differently, advising yourself from advising a friend. So treat it equally the same like you are advising your friend. How would you advise yourself? This is how we silence our inner critics, yeah? Now, something that I would like to share. This is also under Journals International. We call it as nailing worry. Okay, nailing worry. When we are worried, how do we address the worry part? Now, when there is a question, the moment you feel what if, okay, what if, that is the end notice. That means that's already worry there, beginning to worry. You are beginning to worry. All right, so that's what if there, that means you are beginning to worry. Second step, acknowledge the worry that you have. Don't push it out of your mind. Acknowledge the worry that you have. Try to investigate the root cause of the worry. Okay, then investigate I, and then I to L, leave it until later, meaning understand the worry. If you have a solution, you address it. Okay, you solve that worry. If you do not have solution, if it is out of your hands, out of your control, then don't worry about it. You then do it or meddle with it later. Leave it aside first. All right, so don't put too much into you when it comes to worry. All right, now I have put here the list that we can control, the things that you can control and we cannot control. All right, example, how we react, our behavior, yeah, how we react, respond, act is within you, within us, we can control. Now, what we cannot control, making someone else improve their health, forcing someone to change, all these we cannot control. So don't worry about changing others or what others think about you. We cannot change that because no point worrying about it. Well, no point worrying about it. That's what it matters. So things you can change, you change. If not, you can't. It's out of your hands. Moving on. Now, all these inner critics can be silenced, like what I shared by the 5 steps that I shared, also by emotional intelligence. All right, I'll share with you what is Janot's emotional intelligence. Before that, Daniel Goleman, our guru of emotional intelligence, has said that what is emotional intelligence? Definition of emotional intelligence is recognizing your own feeling and also feelings of others and motivating ourselves and also managing our emotion, okay, in order to shine. Okay, that is Daniel Goleman's emotional intelligence. And basically perceiving feelings and emotions and understanding your own emotion and others' emotion, all right? Now, if you look at here, when we talk about IR 4.0, we constantly talk about IR 4.0. When we talk about IR 4.0, we're talking about artificial intelligence and all that. All right, where comes human here? Where comes our competency here? It is to improve our emotional intelligence. If you look at the forum, World Economic Forum, they have compared in 2015, the skills needed, and in 2020, this is 2020, yeah, up till last year, the skill needed definitely is emotional intelligence. Basically, if you look at all these skills here highlighted, all comes under emotional intelligence. So if you are emotionally intelligent, that helps you to shine, basically. So generally, ironically, it helps you to shine, whether at your workforce or even in yourself, within yourself as well, okay? Now, what values employers are looking for when it comes to skills and competency. These are the skills that employers are looking for: strong ethic, dependability, responsibility, positive attitude, adaptability, honesty, and so on. Now, all these, if you really look at, it comes under emotional intelligence. All these come under emotional intelligence. Now, Daniel Goleman's competency, or the pillars, are 4 pillars of emotional intelligence. But when it comes to Janow's emotional intelligence, there are 6 pillars of competency. Let me explain to you the 6 pillars. All right. Now, if you look at the blue circle, the blue circles are the competencies under Janow's emotional intelligence, which are self-awareness, awareness of others, authenticity, emotional reasoning, self-management, positive influence. Now, if you look at the gray circle, the outer circle, this is what we call as productive state of mind. So, example, I give you self-awareness, yeah? We take competency on self-awareness. If you are on productive, if your mind is, or you yourself, on productive state of mind, then you will be living in the present moment. That means you you appreciate present moment. Now, if you're not, this is what we call as unproductive. The inner circle is called as disconnected. That is basically what I call as unproductive state of mind, state of competency. All right. So when we are here, unproductive, this is where we need to work on ourselves so that we can be emotionally intelligent. So we will be doing an assessment later. We will do an assessment to find out which competency is lacking in you, which you can improve further. All right. So for me, I'll share with you mine I've done on in Janow's emotional intelligence as well. Okay. I'm not going to give you Janow's emotional intelligence assessment because it's quite costly. If you want to do Janow's intelligence, it's a very in-depth and lengthy assessment, which really targets at all the competency on you, and it's quite costly. So what I'm giving you is a free assessment. I've done that as well, and both assessment has said that I have to work on self-awareness. That's mine. I'll tell you why mine is self-awareness, what happened, and why I have to work on my self-awareness. All right. Now, why important to harness positive thinking? All right. I'm going to share with you this. Before that, I'll come back. Before going on to this, I'll come back. Now, this is me. This is me. If you look at about 2018, yeah, 2018, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. I went through definitely surgery, lumpectomy. I went through surgery. I went through chemotherapy, cycles of chemotherapy and radiotherapy and all that. And then again, relapse into 2020. I had another surgery, and that's me. Okay, that's me, definitely. Now, when I went through that, that was a difficult moment. 2018 was a difficult moment in my life. It was a shocking moment in my life, definitely, I would say. None of us wanted to hear, you know, we are diagnosed with the big C. I'm sure you will know how bad it will be. It was very important for me to stay positive all the while. When I say, as a trainer, been a trainer for last 18 years, I always been telling people to be positive, to be positive. I mean, that is really a mere training kind of thing. We always say you need to be positive. Until I really experienced myself in my life that, you know, that positivity, having that positive vibe within me, how important it is. Yeah, you know. So it was very important, you know, when the surgeon, after did my biopsy, the surgeon told me, Madhi, you have stage 2 cancer. All right. So it was not a happy moment, definitely. How did I take it? I'm not going to say I was a superwoman. Okay, I'm not going to lie to you and say I was a superwoman. No, I cried. That's my emotion. Again, I acknowledge my emotion. I acknowledge my emotion. Now, before that, before the biopsy, of course, the biopsy will take 2 weeks for us. Yeah. If you're going for a biopsy, it takes 2 weeks for us to get results. So that moment, uh, you must imagine that moment that I went through, waiting for my results to come out, you know, waiting for the results, whether it's going to be or not, whether it's going to be positive or negative results. So that 2 weeks was really a dramatic moment, I would say. So that's my husband, that's my son there. So 3 of us went on holiday. We talked about it, and we told, in fact, we discussed about it. We said, now, if it is happen to be cancerous, that's how we have to handle it really mindfully here. We need to accept the fact and we need to move on. And if it is not, thank God, you know, we are out of it, you know, we are out of all these dramatic emotions and all that. So went back to the surgeon after 2 weeks. 3 of us went together, sitting in his clinic. I was sitting in his clinic. Then he said, okay, Madhi, you have so and so and so and so. And I was shocked, definitely. I didn't expect it, but I was ready for it. I cried and looked at them. I looked at them, my husband, my son. I looked at them and I quickly wiped up my tears and I told myself, I'm not going to cry, because if the moment I cry, I'm going to also bring them down together with me. I'm not going to do that. So that moment I said, okay, sir, I told, okay, doctor, tell me what's going to be my next move. And that's where I took it. Okay, that's where I had to really look at my life very differently. Everything I need to work on very differently in my life. Everything. It's a 360-degree turn, I would say. It is really very different the way it went. Okay, so looking at that, I worked on my own assessment myself. I made a journal for myself. I did a journal for myself. And also did some assessment, whether the one I'm going to share with you, and also on self-management, what you call Janel's assessment. Then I found out I need to enhance myself on self-awareness, especially on this. We really look at this as self-management. Yeah, I have to work on my stress management. So it's very important for me. Need to work on my stress management. Identifying, one thing is identifying what competency that you need to work on will be very good. And then doing a journal on your competency. And today it's this, and tomorrow how you're going to progress further. And it happened, how did you react to it, or how did you respond to it, and how are you going to work on that in the future? So I'm working on my self-management, especially doing exercise and all that. I have to tell you, sometimes I'm very lazy. Okay, I have to admit that sometimes I become very lazy. Definitely Drona has really taught me many things, especially working on exercise and all that, videos and all that has taught me many things. Only thing is, like, I really need to do that exercise. It's like it's like a life matter to me, the purpose in my life, you know, making it a very important purpose in my life. This is what I'm trying to work on, the purpose of life. Okay, so I'm trying to work on that, and also self-motivating, always constantly motivating myself, positive affirmation. Whatever I do, I go on to think positively and have a healthy lifestyle and a balanced diet. Of course, my food and all that, I have to work on that. So these are 3 things I'm working on very seriously within me, so that I can progress further, and so I can enhance, and many more webinars and trainings that I could do and I can live on. So that's what I'm trying to do. All right. Now, this is the importance of having positive mindset. How do you have this cognitive shifting? How do you shift your mindset to think positively? It really helps you. Now, example I give you, yeah. Passive mindset and active mindset. Some of us can be in passive mindset. Some of us can be in active mindset. Now, when we are in passive mindset, we say, my past has left me unable to move forward. Now, this is what I call it as passive mindset. When you do the cognitive shifting to positive, you will say, I have the ability to heal and create a better life for myself. See the way we look at things. Okay, I remembered why it's also very important when I went through this turmoil in my life. Okay, the doctor told me, my surgeon told me, Adi, do not stress yourself thinking about the 20% who died of that illness. Think about 80% who has survived in it. So that really struck me that moment of time. It really struck me. Now I told myself, yeah, why should I really stress myself or thinking about 20% who's going to die? Yeah, everyone died, you know. So it could be a road accident. Percentage is higher on road accident, heart attack, so many things there. Why should I really stress myself on that? Okay, then I thought about the 80% who really survived and still surviving and who really beat that battle. I really wanted to be that. So I went on to think that positively that people who have survived, giving that percentage, higher percentage to think about it. So this is what shifting your active mindset will help you. All right. Definitely, I'm telling from my own experience how much it has helped me. And today I'm here because of that. All right. These are some of the assessments that some of the competencies that we look at, like self-awareness, social awareness, self-management, social skills, what you can work on. Now, later when you do the assessment, if you have identified either one of it that you fall into, that means you need to work on these competencies under these pillars. So I've given you the competencies under this pillar, and we will definitely share with you the slides as well. So you may want to look at which competency that you need to enhance, and then we work on that further. Now, when it comes to emotion, as I said, the first thing, perceive your emotion, all right? Acknowledge your emotion, whatever emotion. If you want to cry, cry. But don't cry the whole year, okay? If you need to cry, you cry. Acknowledge the emotion that you're getting. If you are sad, acknowledge it. If you're happy, acknowledge the emotion that you get. All right. Now, once you have perceived the emotion, use emotion to facilitate cognitive process. This is why you need to shift. You need to shift for positive affirmation or not. Then understand the complex of the emotion that it's giving you, and then you manage your emotion. These are the four skills needed to control, to understand your emotions. Yeah. Now, I have also shared with you on advanced goal setting or advanced of analysis of your goal. Now, when you go home, try to work on this. Okay, try to work on your goals. Now, we need to have purpose in our life. When we have purpose in our life, that makes it easier for us to know why are we living. That makes it easier for us to understand ourselves, what really we need in our life. All right, work on your goal. Okay, I've given you this template. Please work on this template. It's a very good template. The goals that you have, and then how you're going to work on it. I've explained everything, the short-term goal, the long-term goals and all that, the pros and cons of it, and the advice on that I've given you on that, and how you're going to evaluate your goals. Okay. So I've given you all these that you can help yourself to work on. Now I'm going to pass it to Drona, over to you, Drona, so that we can do the assessment together. So the assessment takes about 10 minutes to 15 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes. Now you need to answer honestly and spontaneously. Please do not put in a lot of thought or anything. You need to be very spontaneous in answering this assessment, the test that you're going to get on AI, and also honestly answer that. Then you will get which skill or competency that you are good in and which competency that you need to work on. All right. Okay, over to you, Drona.
Okay, thank you, Madi. So I'm going to share the link for the assessment so all of you can actually participate. Can you all see it?
Yes,
Yeah.
Ms.
Yes.
Rona, you can
Okay.
see.
Yes.
All right. Okay, so while waiting.
Do we need to do now or later?
Yes, you can do it now because it will just take a short while since we have some time. And there will be 4 segments that at the end of there's few questions that you have to answer. A very quick one, you don't have to overthink. And then based on the answer, you will get the assessment results on which part you can work on.
The test results going to share to us?
Yeah, you can immediately see it, sir. It's there. When you click it, it will open another link. Can you see? Like my emotions, the first question until 40 questions there.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome. As mentioned that the disclaimer would be we cannot guarantee the accuracy of the results of this test, only that it can help you begin your journey of self-development. If you've completed the test, probably you could put which is the lowest score that you need to work on. So Madhi could briefly guide you all through.
Yeah. Yeah, please do share on the highest score and the lowest score of your results. Yeah.
Is everything okay? Seems so quiet.
I think all of them are filling, I think.
Okay.
No, yeah, we are
Takes about 15
getting the
minutes.
things to the mind
Yeah.
and answering. So it takes time.
Yeah.
Good, good. Don't overthink. on your chat. Yeah, please share it in the chat. So I need the score, that means the score for higher and the lower competency. What is the highest competency and what is the lowest? I just need the two. No worries.
How do we? Madhi, probably you could also check if they've sent you personally or.
Yeah, I'm checking.
Okay, someone have shared. Maybe you could just take this first, Madhi.
Yeah. Just a minute. Yeah. Okay. Self-awareness, self-management, self-awareness. All right. I could see like something similar to mine. I suppose self-awareness. Yeah. Majority, I think, from what I gathered here. Okay, some send me directly to me. Okay, I see as self-awareness the competency needed to be enhanced. Like mine, I said. Let me just go on to the self-awareness part. Self-awareness is something that we really have to work on. That means not to stress ourselves, definitely not to stress ourselves, live in the present moment, okay, not to stress about the past and the future, living in the present moment, and also being honest to yourself, and authenticity also plays a very big role in that, okay, meaning to say whether we are passive, whether we are aggressive, whether we are assertive, we need to move on to be assertive, not a passive or a aggressive person, okay. So something that our emotion, like anger as well, one is how to relax ourselves, not to, you need to have work on your anger management as well. If it is yourself, awareness is the most important thing. That means acknowledging your own emotion, all right, giving yourself time, giving your body a break, I would say, giving yourself and your body a break. That is self-awareness, which I have to agree, I'm working on it as well. So I can see that most of us are lower on self-awareness. That's what I get. That's what I gauge from what I get here. Okay. And that's also relationship management. Relationship management is having empathy. You need to work on empathy and all that. But I've shared let me share again the slides so it's easier. Let me share again the slides. Just a moment, yeah. So you will know which are the skills that I'm talking about. Just give me a minute. All right. So if you have this self-awareness, this is what you need to work on. If you have self-management, this relationship management, like what we earlier I saw, some of you have relationship management as a lower score, then getting along well with others. Conflict, how do you handle conflict? Now, if you have already identified these are your things that you need to work on, the skills that you need to work on, then probably you want to read further on it. Definitely emotional intelligence trainings, I would say. If you ask me, emotional intelligence training will really go into each pillars of these competency to tell you how you can work on it. So what I did with you is just a basic understanding what you need to work on, and then you can further read on it, do a journal on it, and improve further. So when it comes to self-awareness, understand and recognize your own feelings that you have or your own behavior that you have. Your confidence, if it comes to confidence, work on your confidence. All right. So that would be that. Okay. Now, shall I take questions? Any questions from you? Either you put it in your chat or you would like to raise the question. Any question from your side, please?
Any questions?
I'm glad to take questions from you. Or you can also share it in the chat.
Any questions, participants? Okay, there's one here. Madhi, can you see how to
Yes.
improve self-management?
All right, self-management, that's what I'm improving, self-management. First is we have to identify what is really like me, as I say. I identify my flaws, I would say, like I don't really take exercise, example, like exercise as like in a week. Probably I need to do 2 or 3. I do walking, a lot of walking. I can't run and all that yet. I used to go for marathon and all that, but now I don't. So I start myself because it's all very new for me after my treatment and all that. I start walking and all that. But sometimes I get lazy. Sometimes I get lazy. You see? So these are things that I really need to work on, that if that is a purpose, you know, there is a purpose, I should do that. Now, looking at my health, I have to do that. I have to, get on to my immunity, that I really need to work on that. So you need to identify what is really wrong with, or not really wrong, I would not say really wrong, that what really self-management that you need to really work on. You need to identify that first. Okay, you need to identify, write down in a journal, do a journal, write down, like example, self-management, maybe you're not confident. Example, you're not confident to speak up, all right? You're not assertive enough. Then if you already identified the assertiveness, example, you've identified the assertiveness in you is lacking, then look at how you want to improve that assertiveness. When are you not assertive? When are you passive? Find out the root cause. What makes you passive? All right, how you're going to work on the passive. Of course, this is actually identifying ourselves, and it's a whole process. It's a long process, but I'm just making it in a very short thing for you to understand how it works. So do a journal and sit down. When I give you the goal, remember I gave you the goal setting. When you do the goal setting, write down the goal setting and what would be your hindrance for the goal setting. What will be your obstacles for the goal setting? Write it down. What will be your obstacles? And also, I'll be more than happy if you want me to help you out in anything. I will share with you my contact details and all that. We can always have a chat. I can do coaching with you. Don't worry, I'm not charging. Yeah, no charges. Okay, I'm not charging you on that. Okay, it's free, my own willing to do that. You can always contact me. I'll share the details with you all as well. So you can always talk to me about it, and then I can share, because there is so many 6 pillars. I can't share all the pillars with you. So it basically depends on people. Different people, different type of self-management. Like what I say, what are the self-management I need? I'm just trying to relate to you. All right. Sometimes I overwork, like one of the inner critic. I want to be perfect. So that, if you ask me in 2018, before, I was like working very, very hard. I want to prove myself. You know, I want to be the best. That was 2018 before. I used to do that. But now, you don't really want to do that. I want to progress slowly. A baby step. Jonah said this. I remember in LinkedIn, baby step. I take baby step. You know, I want to progress slowly, a bit by bit. That's what I work on. That gives me peace. I really tell you, that gives me peace, because I'm not striving to be perfect, but I'm striving to have this progress in me. All right. Now, how to install confidence to others? If you are confident enough, it will be easier. Mohammed Azizain, you asked me a question, how to install confidence to others? Now, I'm sure you're confident. Okay, I'm sure you know the skills of confidence then. If you are confident, I'm sure how you got your confidence. You already know how you got your confidence. That's easier for you to install that confidence or instill that confidence in others, definitely. Now, as I said, people, why confidence are lacking is because you don't love yourself. I'll be very frank. The bottom line, you don't love yourself. Okay, the moment you start loving yourself, you see, you become confident. You know, when I lost my hair because of my chemotherapy, I lost my hair, all facial hair, everything, you know, every morning when it's not demotivating. Yeah, I need to have this self-confidence to be in the public. I was a trainer. I go with that kind of hair. Sometimes I wear my scarf, or sometimes I don't, but when it was slightly growing and all that, I went in like that. I didn't care. The first thing is, I didn't care what people want to talk, what people want to talk about it, how people see me. That was the thing that I was least bothered about it. I went up every morning. Now I'm telling you the truth. This is what I did. Every morning I went up in front of the mirror. That is my self-reflection. And I tell myself, I am beautiful. I'm gorgeous. I tell myself, I know I don't have hair. So what? You know, I tell myself, that is the thing that I took, the positive affirmation that I took. The positive affirmation is about I am. When you know to put I am beautiful, I am wonderful, I am spectacular. Okay, whatever you say, when it comes to I am, you see, you are confident. You need to tell that person who needs that confidence to love himself or herself first. The moment you love yourself, you find that you will shine. When when you shine inside, when you have repaired yourself inside, when you have done everything to work on to be better inside, it comes out outside, the outer part. That means the way you are. It brings that particular skills that you have put in, that particular things that you worked on will bring the outer part of it. Okay, so I guess I've answered that. Then what else? How could we both self-awarded and also not take action? Could we both self-aware and also not take action on it at the same time? How do we overcome that? I'm trying to understand that question. Could we both self-aware and also not take action of it at the same time? That means you, what I understand from the question, you're already aware what are your flaws. Am I right to say that?
And maybe you're procrastinating it, right?
Okay, all right, okay.
Yeah.
All right, okay. Now, do not do that. As I say, take baby step. Take baby step and not taking step is two different things. Okay, there's two different things you need to work on. If you tell me my competency is on self-awareness, on self-management, I need to work on it, then you need to work on it. If you're not going to work on it, nothing will happen. Now, as I said, which you can control, which you cannot control. You cannot control others' emotion and all that, but you can control your emotion, you can control your behavior, you can control anything that you do. So you need to take control of that. Now, if you don't work on it, your inner critics will take over. This is what I shared on the inner critics. Your inner critics will take over or control you and undermine you. it will undermine you, it will suppress you, it will push you down. So you need to work on it a bit by bit. You know, you don't have to stress yourself to work on it, but work on it a bit by bit, definitely. Okay. All right. Any other questions? I think I've answered all the questions. Any other questions you have?
So, Ms. Mati, I have one question. It's
Yes,
excellent
yes,
talk. I have one question. How we can inculcate this self-management to the children, especially controlling the watching TV, games, it's very difficult time,
Okay, that meaning to say they are spending more time on that than anything else, is it? Okay.
Many.
Yeah, many of them, yeah, they do that. Okay, first thing is, you can't stop them from watching TV. Now, watching TV, you, me, every one of us grow up that way. Anyway, only thing now is all the games part and, all the PS, now is PS6, I think. I'm not sure, PS5 or PS6 is there. All these are there. So it's very difficult to stop them. But of course, we don't scold them. Okay, we don't scold them. That is parenting, definitely parenting. You don't scold them. You need to talk to them. I have a son who is 18 years old. Yeah, he's 18 years old. He's also doing law now. Just to share with you, he was a straight A student. Yeah, he was a straight A student in Malaysia. I'm sure some are not from Malaysia as well. Now to say that, we have all these PT3, UPSR and all that in Malaysia. He was a straight A student. All right. Then when it came to SPM, the major examination, okay, I saw it was a big drop in his progress. He's from science anyway. He's from a science stream. And I saw a big drop in him. I didn't understand what was really going on with him. I started talking to him. He didn't open up. He didn't open up what was really wrong and all that. Then it came the results. The day he got his results, my husband went to take his result. He did not get straight A's anyway. That was not my expectation. We knew there was something lacking, so we accepted that. Accepted that, and we just sat and said, because he wanted to be a doctor. He wanted to be a doctor. Okay, we sat down and talked. Now, just to relate to you, Dr. Venkat, we sat down and talked. We had a table talk. We reset everything. We sat down and had a talk. Okay, his name is Siddharthan. Yeah, so I said, Sid, what exactly you want? You wanted to be a doctor. Your results is this. Do you think you could do medicine or not? Now, give you option, you choose what you want to be. Now, he chose. We didn't force him to do whatever we want, but we told him, if you do this, this is what will happen. You do this, this is what you happen. So we gave him all the pros and cons of whatever he's going to take. Okay, we didn't want to force him. And the molder part, because I'm from law background, I wouldn't want him to be a lawyer or what. And my husband was from economics and all that. We wouldn't want that. But we let him choose what he wanted, and he wanted to take up law. Okay, fine. Now he has finished his foundation in law. Really, really surprising. He did very well. He did 3.98 pointer. He got 3.98 pointer. Now that really told me, that really, kicked to me, that saying that, you have to let your children do what they want. You have to let your children do what they want. In, of course, good things, do what they want. You should not force them, but you can always sit down and talk to them. You can always sit down and talk to them about, this is what would happen. This is what would happen when you do that. Now, especially when your children don't eat vegetable, yeah? Your children, they don't eat a vegetable. We cannot force them now, you need to eat a vegetable, you need to eat vegetable. We don't do that. But what we can do, the positive affirmation here, now you can make them sit in front of the TV example and let them see children eat vegetables. That makes them think, oh, she eats, why not me? She eats, why not me? So you want to set an example there. Dr. Venkat, you want to show some examples there, how children progress now by doing this, by doing that. Some examples you want to share rather than just telling them off, you will be a failure. No, the word you will be a failure when you watch telly. You will be a failure when you play games. Now, we wouldn't want to do that. And then one thing Asian parents always have, I don't know, but this among Indians, they're very common, comparing other children. We have that comparing, look at him. Look at example, look at John. John, he studies 24 hours. He's always with the book. He never watch TV. He never play game. Look at him. But I think that is wrong. Our 5 fingers are not same. Okay, it's wrong. So you need to understand first your child. You need to understand your child. Talk to them. Talk to your child. Okay, talk to your children. Understand what they want. Constant reset. I would say constant reset. Talking to them help. For me, in my as a parent, as a mother, that helped me a lot. Today, I'm very happy and I'm very proud of him. I was not disappointed. Of course, the expectation was there when he got his SPM result. But I lowered my expectation and I told him, you do what you think is right. And he did. He did it flourish well. I think having too much expectation also on your children, it's not good. Don't push them on your expectation. Don't push them on your dreams. Okay, don't push your children what you want them to have. No, don't do that. This is what I call as mold.
Okay, bye.
All right, so don't. Dr. Venkat, maybe that I've answered your question.
Yes, Ms. Mati, thank you so much. Excellent talk. And yeah.
Okay, if no question, I would now just I would share my contact details and all that. Now, if you guys really need my help or anything to do with emotional intelligence on the competency, you can contact me. I put it on my slide. My contact details are on my slide. All right. So wish all best of luck and best wishes from me. Hope to see you all shining in future. Over to you, Drona.
Okay, thank you, Madhi. So I really hope all our participants here have gotten the aha moment, like how I've started it, and hoping that it might spark something for your personal growth. I think Dr. Venkata, Suresh, and also the organizing committee and also AIMST University has given all of us this platform to share our story. And thank you very much again, Madhi, for agreeing to share. I think it's a cumulative wisdom that needs a lot of praise and applause, because for you to be coming back as a wellness warrior, I would say. So all the best to you, and over to you, Kanchana.
Thank you, Ms. Jonah, for moderating the session so amazingly. And thank you very much, Ms. Madhi. We had a very energetic talk, and I believe that you have definitely passed the vibration to all the participants who joined us today. So before ending the session, we would like to hear feedback from all the participants by scanning the QR code that's shown in the screen right now. You can either scan the QR code or go to the link given. The link is also provided in our chat box. I will keep the screen running for 1 more minute in order for everyone to scan the QR code. Please complete the evaluation survey in order to receive a participation certificate as well as the today's presentation slides. Thank you.
Dr. Suresh, I would like to make an announcement.
Okay,
Can
please.
I make?
Please
thank,
go ahead.
yeah, thank you, Dr. Suresh and Dr. Drona, for moderating the session. It was interesting and it was useful for our HICAS GIP students as well. Okay, so GIP students from Hindustan College of Coimbatore, you are requested to join the next virtual tour session. You need to use the Zoom link yesterday you had used. Okay, so please leave this session and join the other virtual tour session using the yesterday link. Thank you. So looking forward to see you there.
everyone would have scanned the QR code right now. Just a short reminder that we do have another 2 amazing presentations tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. So do join with us tomorrow, and thank you for bearing with us till now.